can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Thank you, Bob. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's gonna be a bright, bright, bright rest of my life.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the call. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. My name is Kat. I'm 21 years old, born and raised in Toronto, Canada, currently living out here in Houston, Texas. I've been an entrepreneur for 2 years. I am a mommy to a 2-month-old baby boy. Welcome to the call. Tonight, we have a very, 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 very special webinar here for you, holding in our memories, holding in our hearts, whispering the name of a legend, Bob Proctor. Whether you know him or not, tonight you will be receiving a lot of value. Bob Proctor has, been one of the most famous authors and mentors to a lot of us. And like I said, tonight we'll be discussing some of his teachings and some of the memories we have in our hearts with him. We have 2 amazing speakers that will be speaking tonight. But before we go ahead and jump right in, one of Bob's favorite things to do was to express gratitude. So what I want you to do is go ahead and drop in the chat 3 things that you can show gratitude for today. What can you be grateful for? It can be materialistic, spiritual, absolutely anything. What can you show gratitude for today, right? As we know, as Bob always says, gratitude is one of the highest frequencies we can hold, right? It's the highest frequency in the universe, right? Perfect, perfect. I love the energy. Let's keep this call on a high vibration. But like I said, we have 2 amazing speakers that are going to be speaking today. So I highly recommend that you have your notebook and your pen already set, right? And just keep an open mind to the information that's going to be spoken to. Whether you've heard it for 100th time, or this is your first time hearing it, just keep an open mind to the information, right? So the first speaker that I would love to introduce is not only someone who's been, a really good friend of mine, a business partner, but she's definitely someone who loves to receive and give value. And that's why she's here on this call today. She's, been impacted by, the famous Bob Proctor, and wants to share with, some of the memories that she holds, some of the information that she stores in her heart and she keeps in her mind, and she wants to elevate your consciousness. So she's here with us today to expand yours and share some value. So I'm going to pass it off to the first speaker, Shauna. Go ahead and take it away, girl.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here this evening with us. We are just so blessed in this time, and I am so blessed to know Kat. Thank you so much for opening up the call. I'm just so proud of you. And for anyone that doesn't know, Kat is a new mama to a beautiful baby boy, and I just love her dedication. I love her energy. Can we just throw some ones in the chat? Type a 1 for Kat. She is so amazing. Thank you so much for opening up this call, Kat. And tonight we are going to talk about Bob Proctor. Some of you may not really know who Bob Proctor is, and some of you may know him very well. You may have studied his work, and you're here to hear some of the lessons that we have learned and that we're going to share with all of you this evening. So again, my name is Shauna Hogan. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I am going to share a few slides with you all. So let me get that up on the screen. Okay. Now, for those who don't know Bob Proctor, Bob is, in one single word, I can just say, a phenomenal human being. And, for those who don't know, he did pass away February 3rd. He was almost 90 years old, and you would not be able to tell because this man had so much energy. And just real quick, yeah, he's the founder of Proctor Gallagher Institute. He's the author of You Were Born Rich. He starred in the movie The Secret, which is very well known. So hopefully you've seen that movie. And as you see in this photo, he has been carrying with him the original copy of Think and Grow Rich since 1961. And so this is what Bob is known for, but how I personally knew Bob was through a live convention here in Dallas, Texas, back in September 2019. Now, I barely knew Bob myself before attending this event, and I was in for a huge surprise. I'm so grateful that I was there and was able to see one of the last live presentations that he did before passing away. And so what I'm going to share with everyone tonight is just a little bit of what I learned, and then I'm going to be passing it on to our very special guest this evening. And so when Bob first came on stage, he just was absolutely in the moment. And he is just so full of energy that you would think this man has been eating healthy his entire life. But, you know, if you know a little bit about his story, he didn't have the best life growing up. And he was able to turn his life around through the teachings of Napoleon Hill. And he teaches all of these secrets, as we can call it, to the masses, and has been able to impact thousands of people all across the world. And so at this seminar, this live event, what he presented on stage is something I want to share with you all and what I took away. So as you see on the screen, we have some lines on the right side, right? And, you know, in this quote, we think on a frequency. So all of us are made of energy, right? And everything vibrates at a frequency. So everything on this planet vibrates at a different frequency. And if you look at these lines, think of them as different radio waves. And that if your body acts as an antenna and you set your mind on a goal, you're basically sending out a frequency into the universe. So this concept may be a little bit out there for some of you, but stay with me, okay? Now, Bob explained on stage that these lines represent different frequencies. And if you're someone who, obviously, if you're on this call, you definitely have some goals, you're into personal development, and you know, you may surround yourself with people who really want more in life. So if you see something in your mind that you want, and let this star on the screen be the goal. This star is up here, right? This is your goal. Say your goal is to get a new car, okay? That's something pretty common for a lot of people. And I know at one point it was for me. I was driving a 2014 Kia Spectra. It was 7 years old. That thing was it just kept on going. And I knew that it was about time for me to get a new car. And, you know, I didn't want just another car. I wanted a luxury car. Okay. So this star represented an Audi for me. But the thing is, when you have your goals set up here, you might be down here, okay? And down here represents your frequency you're on. So you're thinking thoughts of, I have this car that I want to last forever, which was my Kia, but at the same time, that could be the luxury car, right? I want a really good luxury car that will last a long time. But am I thinking on this frequency up here that I deserve a luxury car? Am I worthy of a luxury car? And, in order to get up here, when you're down here thinking thoughts of maybe lack or I'm not worthy, how do you get up here? And so I love this explanation that Bob did on stage. What you basically have to do is think in terms of this frequency that you want up here. So thoughts of, I already am driving this luxury car, right? I am deserving of this luxury car. And in order to achieve that goal, you're going to have to think on those thoughts. So what I did in order to get this luxury car was every day I was driving my Kia and picturing the Audi symbol on my steering wheel. I was picturing myself smelling the leather, and I was just starting to attract these thoughts of I am deserving. And next thing you know, I was able to purchase my Audi. So I was able to surpass these thoughts of, when I was driving the Kia, that was the thoughts that I was having at those times. But then I was able to reach this star and actually achieve my goal. And so that's just like a small example of what it means to achieve your goal on the same frequency, right? But what I actually want to do is introduce you to someone who I have no doubt will give you the best value that you can receive from Bob Proctor, because I could think of no one better to talk about this and give you guys some real great value. And this individual is just so incredible. She's just so down to earth, and she's the most dedicated mama that I've ever seen. She has 2 beautiful daughters, and she's such an inspiring leader. She is a perfect example of an entrepreneur and a student of Proctor Gallagher Institute. And so she even has met Bob. So I want to definitely hear from Miss Taylor Hierro on the call. Please take it away, Queen.
Thank you so much. Guys, let's give it back, first of all, to our queens, Miss Kat and Shauna. And of course, express gratitude. Get back to that, guys. Let's get our cameras on. Let's get elevated. Let's get our frequencies vibrating at a higher rate. Okay, let's really, when Shauna reached out to me and asked if I could hop on this call, I just felt so honored. For one, I haven't done a call in a minute because I'm out here momming. I'm momming, I'm thugging it out. And for those who don't know me, my name is Taylor. I live here in Dallas, and I've been a part of I Am Academy now for 3 years, going on 3 years. So that's how I was introduced to Kat and Shauna and this amazing community of people, and honestly, the world of entrepreneurship and personal development. Before I was in network marketing, I never studied myself. I can remember, honestly, the first time I ever got a personal development book. Okay, I was having what somebody would call a character development day. And I was in school, and I left school and I went to Barnes & Noble and I picked up a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. So be sure to write that down. I'll actually type it in the chat, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And I thought it was so cool because later on I found out, I heard from Bob himself saying he suggested this book before. And I was like, wow, that's the very first personal development book that I had ever read in my life. And so I would listen to that. I started listening to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And as you guys know, if you study Bob or if you're just learning about him, Bob was actually mentored by a man named Earl Nightingale. And he is most known for his audiobook and book, The Strangest Secret, where he explains the strangest secret, which is, I'm going to tell you guys, it's that men don't think. Men and women don't think. We're not taught how to think. We're not taught how to use our mind. And I suggest that you go listen to it. As I was listening to it, it came to an end, and I remember it's on SoundCloud, the version that I was listening to. And I would listen to it every single day once I started to practice personal development. And afterwards, it says your mic is hitting something to cause a distortion. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me well? Just drop a 2 in the chat if you can hear me well. I apologize if you haven't been able to hear me. Okay. All right. You can hear me, but it's distorted. And somebody else said clearly. Yikes. Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep talking. I apologize, guys. I'm not sure what it is. A little background noise. Maybe it's my computer running. Give me just a second. Let's see. I want to make sure. Okay. I exited out of some other tabs. It's the fan. I knew it. I knew it. Okay. I apologize, guys, but sorry about that. Back to what I was saying. Earl Nightingale mentored Bob Proctor, and so after I listened to The Strangest Secret, an audio came on of Bob Proctor, and that was the first time I had ever heard Bob. I was like, wow, this man, he's still alive. He's still teaching this information. I am so happy and grateful now that I am mentored by individuals like Bob Proctor. This was back in 2019 as I was going to school and I was pregnant with my first daughter, Liliana. So in 2019, I truly believe that that all happened for a reason, where I was listening to Bob and I was introduced to him, and something was sparked in me to seek out more. To meet this man. I had a goal. I told myself I will meet Bob Proctor. I don't know when. I found out we had the same birthday, so I told myself I'm gonna meet Bob on my birthday. And fast forward to 2021, I met Bob Proctor for the very first time, and we actually had a call on July 6th. So not the 5th, but July 6th. We have the same birthday, July 5th. On July 6th, I remember we had a class with him, and I told him, I was like, Bob, a couple of years ago, I said that I was going to spend my birthday with you, and it might not have been on our birthday, and it might have been over Zoom, but it happened. It's July 6th, and it's 2021, and I'm talking to you. Like, this works. This thing works. So I was really excited about the information that Bob had taught me, because he genuinely changed my life. One thing that I can say about Bob is he broke down things for me to understand, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what it was that honestly changed my life. And the cool thing about Bob Proctor is that he doesn't take credit for all of the stuff that he knows. He just pays credit to where it was due, to who taught him what it was, and he has just brought it together. He's cultivated books and programs together for people to study this information all in one. And, being able to study Bob since 2020 is when I joined his program, Thinking into Results. I was on Mornings with Neno, so go ahead and everybody drop a 2 in the chat for our boy Neno. If you love Neno and hopping on his morning calls, that's somebody who also played a huge role in my journey to personal development and really just honestly setting goals and getting to know myself better so that I can, create a life by design. So shout out to Neno. Neno had a guest on his show named DeAndre Saxton. So shout out to DeAndre, because if it wasn't for DeAndre, I would not have ever heard of his program. I wouldn't have known how to even seek out mentorship from Bob. And meeting DeAndre was such a life-changing experience, because in that moment I was introduced to a coach who was just one person away from Bob. So over the years, I was just getting closer and closer to actually meeting Bob, and I was able to study his program, Thinking into Results. So I'm going to show you guys that book. It's a program, a 6-month program where I really, really, really got deep into Bob's teachings and everything that he wants you to know about thinking into results. And he breaks it down into 12 chapters, starting from learning how to set just a fantasy goal, guys, because when you set goals, you want to go for something that is going to actually expand you. It's going to be something that you've never done. It's going to be a little bit scary. and it's going to push you. It's going to have you go deep within yourself to actually want it. Because one thing that he teaches from the book of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is that every goal starts with a desire, a burning desire, okay? And when I say a burning desire, you have to want it. If you don't want it, nobody else really cares about your goals, guys. Your goals have to be important to you, because on the days that you don't want to pursue them, or maybe you're having one of those moments where your old paradigm is kicking in, your old habits, things that don't align with what you want in the future. When those things start coming up, it's important to develop a willpower so strong that you're focused on a goal that gets you inspired, that is with a burning desire. And that was one thing that Bob taught me, is I realized I never took a conscious effort to recognize any desires that I had. It was like, okay, well, what can I do? What do I think I can accomplish? Because if you go by what you think you can accomplish, your goals are always going to be limited. You cannot surpass the level of belief that you hold for yourself. So Bob taught me to always go for something that I would never in a million years imagine how it's going to happen. I have no plan for it, but hey, it would be really cool to do it. And in that moment, I wrote a whole list. It was like a grocery list of things that I would like be cool with doing. I wrote a goal to have my first 5-figure month. I had never done that as a 9-to-5 employee. I set a goal to meet Bob Proctor. I set a goal to start a YouTube channel, even though I had no clue how to work YouTube, how to do any of that. And those are just 3 things. I had a goal to write a best-selling novel. That's in the works right now. And the past 3 things that I just said, I've accomplished. I checked off of my list, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. So it's just safe to say that when you take into consideration the things that you're learning, and you take it seriously, and you invest into yourself, you invest into your mindset, guys, there's absolutely no telling what you can accomplish. It's open to anybody. That's the strangest secret, is that it's there for everybody. It's there for everybody to use their imagination, their mental faculties, the priceless things that God bless you with. It's there for anybody and everybody to use, but not everybody knows how to do it. Not everybody knows how to tap into those mental faculties. So Thinking into Results was a program that really helped me to develop my thought process and having more of a conscious effort into the thoughts that I'm cultivating in my mind. And also a way to, kind of reject other thoughts and ideas. Because when you become consciously incompetent, if you've studied Kevin Trudeau, when you become consciously incompetent, you're now consciously aware of the things that you're incompetent at. And it can be very discouraging sometimes. You really start to analyze, you overanalyze things, the thoughts that are going in through your mind, your self-image, the way that you interact with people. These things you start to become consciously aware of them. And you have to really, going back to desire, you have to have a strong desire to push through it, to push through any terror barriers that you face, and to always, always have courage. Courage to go the route that people have never gone before, to have the things that people have never had before. Bob taught me about courage, and this is something I still implement into my life, because being a new mom, guys, nobody gave me an instruction book, but I want to be a great mom. I have to have an image of what that looks like in my mind. So Bob taught me about imagination and using my mind to project images in my mind of what I want. Because sometimes we think we want things and we use words to define them, but our mind works by images. And so what Bob has also taught me is just writing out my goals, having a goal card. Where's your goal cards? Having a goal card, having words that provoke images in your mind. When you're going through your day-to-day basis and you have these negative thoughts flash onto the screen of your mind, it's important to have something that always gets you back on track, guys, because it happens to everybody. And that will lead me to the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. He came before Bob Proctor in this lineage of personal development. He wrote Outwitting the Devil. And to always, always have this, guys, your goal card, to remind you of what it is that you want. Because I'm spitting, everything that I'm saying is coming from Bob. Bob taught me, if I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me that my kids think I should be, not the me that my spouse thinks I should be, or my parents or my friends, but if I want to be free, I have to be me. And guys, that requires a lot of courage, because it's going to require you to go back on some beliefs that you have. And one thing that really came out from just studying myself and seeking self is that it doesn't stop there. Okay, when you're seeking success and when you come up with an image in your mind of what success is to you, whether that's being a great mom or a great dad or a serial entrepreneur, a billionaire, whatever it is that you define as success, guys, you have to understand that with desire comes greed. With desire comes selfishness. And when you just pursue yourself, when your focus is on you, there's a balance. There's a something called duality, the law of polarity. So when you're seeking self is selfish. We need that in order to impact others. We need to have an understanding of who we are to even be able to impact others, to empower others. Because if we don't have a good idea of who we are, we can't help other people do that. As a leader, as a business owner, as a parent, whatever roles that you play in your life, if you don't know who you are and what you want and what you're working towards, guys, you can't lead anybody. People follow people who know where they're going. So you have to know where you're going. You have to have a good understanding of who you are. So that's the importance of personal development and what Bob has taught me. With Bob's teachings, I just kept getting more and more inspired to learn. He told me when I met him, he told me, I can tell that you are on the right track. Just never get tired of studying. I know that you study the same thing over and over, but don't get tired of it. Don't get lukewarm. Every day, implement personal development into your life. And you know, it's helped me in so many ways, in ways that have honestly saved my life, guys. I realized I had a lot of subconscious emotions and traumas and things that just, do you ever notice when you're going towards something and you're going through a rough patch, you have the best excuses? Like, they sound so good to you because it just makes sense. Like, when you're battling depression, I know that it's depression and it can be hard, but at the end of the day, it is an excuse. And it's not to say that it's good or bad or right or wrong. It's just to say that when you are depressed and there's no expression of creativity or moving towards a goal, you can get so lost and end up in a really dark place. And that is drifting. If you don't have a set direction, if you're just going with emotions, life will toss you freaking anywhere. And you have to trust. You can sit here and trust and pray to God that it's going to be in the way that is supposed to help you, but also understand that you have a responsibility as a creator made in God's image to have a part in the life that you're living. God didn't send you here to live a life of poverty and of suffering. He sent you here to seek out purpose and to share that purpose with other people and to impact other people and to give credit where credit is due. Give thanks to the God who created you, who said this person is going to be born on this day at this time in this lifetime, and they have a purpose. And I'm going to spark purpose in them. And when they get these great ideas in their mind, I hope that they act on them. Because when they act on them, they will have impact, and they have a right to a kingdom. They have a right to the promised land of all the things that they genuinely want. As long as it's in my will to serve others, to serve people, and to help people, help the world get better, you can have what you want. So Bob's book, You Were Born Rich, honestly brought me back closer to my faith in God. There's a chapter called Let Go and Let God. I highly suggest that you read through it because it just reminds you of this responsibility, and it's empowering to realize, like, hey, I was sent here for a reason. That was something I really struggled with, is like, what's my purpose? Everybody's purpose here is to come here and leave the world better than what they found it. That is your purpose. We all have purpose, and we all have the same purpose. It's all for better, for fuller expression and expansion. But we all have different callings, okay? So we all have purpose, and we're all here to make things better. But what's your calling? There's so many ways that you can go about this, and this is where God gives you the paintbrush and says, what do you like? What do you think you're good at? What do people tell you that you're good at? What do you want to do? Because I want you to come here and make the world better, to add to the collective, to contribute. But how do you want to do it? Do you want to speak? Do you want to dance? Do you want to sing? Do you want to write books? Do you want to raise kids? Do you want to have $1 billion company that changes people's lives? What is it? What's your calling? Okay, so it really opened my mind to the fact that, wow, I'm here for a reason, and I get to have a choice in the things that I do. It taught me that the idea of consciousness, being consciously aware, and to utilize your consciousness, because that's the one thing that you have over the animals of the world, the plants of the world. Nature is perfect. The only thing lacking is imagination and consciousness, and humans have that. And we use it for literally anything, good or bad, right or wrong. We have people out here doing crazy stuff. We have people out here, you know, leaving a legacy for their families, starting up restaurants. There's so many things. You look at the world and it all started in the mind of man. Okay? So just being introduced to the power of your mind. And you know, I don't know who all here has faith in God or the universe or whatever it is that you're moving towards. I just pray for each of you that as you seek out yourselves, it's all to serve other people, it's to serve your families, and that you have courage to go after it, because you are entitled to it, and that's what God wants for you. God wants you to succeed. Okay, that's what Bob taught me, is God is for fuller expression and expansion. And when we're able to use our minds to do that, there's no telling what you can do. So I think that was, you know, a pretty long description, but guys, I can't tell you the last time I did a call, so I'm just like, everything's coming out. I'm really excited. I feel amazing because I'm blessed to be here. I'm just grateful for another day to be alive and to do the best with what I have right now here in my life, because I know that there's always, always, always going to be more. Everything is for me. Everything is for you. Everything is for your growth, guys. So just get empowered by that. Get empowered to seek more awareness and to use your mind for great things. Pour great things into your mind and then just express it. Express it. What I want to leave you with before I pass it back to our Queen Cat is a tool that anybody can use. And this was something that Bob was taught by a doctor, Dr. Leland Vanderwall. And it is called the stick figure, okay? So if you study Bob, man, just saying his name, R.I.P. R.I.P. to Robert Proctor. This man, this stick figure has just, I've found myself in so many situations where I think of myself as this stick figure. I'm like, hold on. What is this power that's going in through my mind? And is this good or bad? What thoughts am I entertaining? How am I feeling? What emotion is coming out of this? And how am I acting on it? Because guys, if you are consciously aware of your emotions, if you can tell that you're feeling bad or sad or mad or happy and glad and excited, you can use that. You can use that emotion for amazing, beautiful things, and it can also, you know, lead to destruction. So I'm going to leave you guys with a tool that I genuinely believe that will change your life. It will change your life if you use it every day. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. Let me know that you guys can see my screen. Just drop a 2 in the chat if you can. I appreciate you so much. All right, cool. So the stick figure, guys. It's a little man like this with a big old head. Okay. I know it's a little silly. Like, what is this? What is this stick figure? What was Bob doing when he was teaching this? Why is this important? It's a visual for you guys, okay? Let this big circle represent your mind and let this little circle represent your body. Understand that the body is an instrument of the mind. So your fingernail is just as much of your mind as your brain. Understand that your mind is perfect. Your DNA is perfect. Your spiritual DNA. If you go and cut your finger, I can guarantee you your body starts to heal it on its own. You don't have to tell it to heal. You don't have to tell your lungs to breathe for you. You don't have to tell your eyes to blink to keep your eyes moist and working. You don't have to do these things that are subconscious. Your body is operating on its own. So there's this spirit, there's this power, this creative energy that's always working to and through you. Okay, so let's establish that. Let's establish that there is an omnipresent power, aka God. Shout out to God. Okay, let's just drop a 1 in the chat for God. All right, there's this power that's always, always, always coming in. And this is how you're operating. And understand, guys, that in life, there's things deemed as negative and positive. So not everything is going to, you know, something comes into your mind and you're thinking about the things that happened to you when you were younger. and they don't give you a good feeling. Or you think about what you're going to do tomorrow and you get excited. This creative power is just always flowing into your mind. I have this to do. Oh crap, man, I don't really feel good about that. My relationship is this, my business is this. There's just all these things, all this mumbo jumbo going in your mind, okay? And we have to decipher for ourselves. We have to use our intellectual mind to decide what serves us and what's something that I can just leave alone today. We're not even gonna go there. Another thing Bob taught me is, that's interesting. So if you're ever going through it and you just don't see it going anywhere, it's a dead end, just tell yourself, that's interesting. We're not even gonna go there, okay? It'll save you so much time, so much stress, so much worry that you're not gonna do anything with it anyways. Choose positive thoughts, okay? Use your consciousness. And as you start to entertain an idea, okay, an idea comes into your mind, whether you think it's negative or positive, you use your mental faculty of perception to decide, how am I perceiving this? And as you play around with an idea, let's take a goal into consideration, a goal that you have, a burning desire. It gets you excited. You get emotionally involved with this in your subconscious mind. So your conscious mind is what helps you to be aware of ideas that are going on in your mind. And your subconscious mind is what provokes an emotion. So I'll give you guys kind of a description on that. Think of when you got mad last time. The last time you got mad. What did you do when you were mad? Did you yell at somebody? Did you cuss them out? Did you feel like a gut feeling where you're like, oh my goodness, and then maybe you act out on it. Maybe you go and tell somebody something, or if you're one of those people who has holes in their walls, guys, don't be that person, please. But there was an action that was acted out after an emotion was developed. Okay, this is the process of habits. Okay, we become consciously aware of ideas or unconsciously, and we just act on them. These are things that we are taught. This is what a paradigm is. A paradigm is a multitude of your habits, and your habits create the life that you have. The results in your life were all created by habits, whether or not you know of the habits that you have, but it comes with an emotion. And as the emotion is what puts you, as Shauna was showing you those lines of vibration, emotion is what puts you on a line of vibration. Whatever you are feeling is what you are vibrating at. So if you feel happy right now, guys, you're vibrating higher. You're going to attract things that also make you feel happier. You're going to attract things that put you at a higher level of vibration. They're all going to be on a high vibration. You're also going to attract things that test that. Okay, so be consciously aware of your emotions. What's going on? Be consciously aware of how you feel, and you will know what you're attracting. You will know the vibration that you're on, and what you're acting out on, and what you're bringing forth to you. Because with every action, there's a reaction. It's the law of cause and effect. So all of these laws is what Bob taught me, is the laws of nature that function in human life. And if you actually just take some consideration to figure this stuff out, you'll have so much more control of your life. But I do want to say, because you are a creator, and God or the creator put desire in your heart to go and create, you will be tested. You will be tested in a multitude of ways. You'll be tested of your greed, of your patience with people, of your true intentions. And that's where I said that personal development brought me back to faith. I realized that there's some things that I may seek that are of my fleshly desires, and it's not going to serve everybody for the best. There's sacrifices that I have to make sometimes so that it can serve everybody involved. And that's another important thing that Bob taught me, is just love for people. The emotion of love in general will bring you so much more greater results when you're vibrating on a frequency of love for people, for yourself, for your creator, for life. When you're operating out of love, there's just, it's a different way of attracting results into your life that are worthy, and they make you feel really good. So just trust the process. Trust that as you do act on your desires and the things that you want, that it's all going to serve everybody involved. Do it for people, not just for profits, because as you seek awareness and you seek wealth, you are going to have it, but you have to know what you're going to do with it and how it's going to serve others. So I think that's all I'm going to leave you guys with, is this stick figure by Dr. Leland Vanderwall. taught to Bob Proctor. You guys can go look it up or watch videos on it on his YouTube. And if you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to share, you know, what I've learned with Bob, because he's just had such a huge impact on my life. Yeah, and with that being said, I'm going to hand it back over to my queen, Kat. Thank you guys so much for having me on here. I'm honored, I'm blessed, and I'm just sending you guys all thoughts of abundance, prosperity, success, wealth, happiness, health, and abundance. I love you guys.
Wow, 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 wow. I need everyone, and I mean everyone, to go ahead and blow up that chat with 3 6s and 9s. I cannot tell you how much value I've received, and I've been studying Bob Proctor for 2 years. You can never hear this information enough. I'm going to say that again. You can never hear this information enough. But I want to express my gratitude again to Shauna and Taylor. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy days to come on here and just share the knowledge, share the memories that you have. I want to thank everyone here for taking the time out of your day to come here and just, remember, the legend Bob Proctor, and to, just keep his knowledge and keep his legacy in our minds and express our consciousness with his teachings. Shauna, if you could pull up the last slide for us. I want to challenge everyone on this call today. I want to challenge you to go on your Instagram and record, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute of you just sharing whatever it is you learned today, whatever memory, whatever teaching, whatever Bob has done for you. Go ahead and share it to the world. We need to express and share the lessons and his legacy and keep his name in our heart. As long as we keep sharing the information he has taught us, as long as we keep speaking his name, he will never be forgotten. I want you to go ahead and tag all 3 of us, as well as the TradeHouse Queens. And if you want to see more calls like this about mindset, personal development, health, wealth, I want you to go ahead and drop a 9 in the chat, right? We used to do this, do calls bi-weekly and have, so many people come on. We're about to bring it right back. Perfect. So I want to challenge each and every one of you to go do that and tag us. With that being said, family, I want to express my gratitude again. Thank you for coming on here and just spending the evening with us. Go ahead and have a wonderful rest of your night. We express our gratitude again, and we love each and every one of you with all of our hearts. Take care.